these situations and problems she's having. She didn't really ever grieve. That like each person that's ever been on Earth or ever.
This is the moment every Alaskan Bush People fan has been waiting for. Ami Brown is finally speaking openly about the family tension she experienced on the show. After years of cameras rolling and personalities clashing, she's ready to reveal the 5 people she says she absolutely didn't get along with. And trust me, what she shares is strong. Ami became the heart of the show, the glue keeping the Bush family together. But behind the scenes, it wasn't always perfect. Cameras caught some of the drama, sure, but Ami's feelings were deeper than what made it onto air. Now, years later, she isn't holding anything back. When Ami lists the 5 she hated the most, it's not just lip service. She describes how each relationship strained her, wore her down, and sometimes hurt her deeply. She doesn't go into small talk, she names names, shares specific moments, and gives context. Suddenly, Alaskan Bush People isn't just a survival story. It's a portrait of life under pressure in isolation, and the toll it took. Through all the revealing details, what you'll hear most is honesty. Ami doesn't sugarcoat. She doesn't dramatize. She just lays it out, who hurt her, how, and why it left lasting scars. And maybe that's what so many fans will find surprising. She still cared, she still loves them, but she's no longer pretending nothing happened. Let's start with the first person she named. Ami described this person as someone she felt constantly misunderstood by, always clashing, never seeing things from her point of view. The tension wasn't about survival or decisions, it was personal. There were arguments about how tasks were done, how decisions were made, and even disrespect she felt on quiet days. The second person she named carried a different weight. That relationship wasn't about conflict over decisions. Instead, it was about emotional distance. Ami felt shut out during crises, left to handle heavy moments alone while someone else withdrew. It hurt more than spills or chores. It made her feel alone in a family supposedly united. Next, there was the third name, a clash over leadership. Ami was full of ideas, direction, and care. But this person always contested her judgment, refused cooperation, and worked against decisions she thought were best. It wasn't survival, they were power plays, and Ami felt drained. By the time she talked about the fourth, it was exhaustion. This person didn't help, even when help was critical. Ami described being overwhelmed with responsibilities, while someone stayed indifferent or distracted. The frustration wasn't petty, it was everyday neglect in a situation where help mattered the most. The fifth person shocked fans the most. Ami called this one betrayal. Someone she trusted turned distant or dismissive at a critical moment. It wasn't about mistakes or survival. It was about feeling let down by someone she believed had her back in the bush when no one else could. Now let's talk about the impact. Ami says these strains pushed her to her limits. At times she doubted herself. At others, she nearly walked away from it all. She loved her family deeply, but when she said hate, it was out of pain, exhaustion, and purpose. She confessed that filming reality TV added pressure, magnifying small disagreements into inhaled toxins of tension. What would normally be a tough day in isolation became full-blown drama. She started to notice patterns. Arguments repeated, trust eroded, hope drained. Even outdoors, inside her chest, a storm was brewing. But Ami kept going. For her kids, for a sense of family, for a show that defined their life. She stayed in situations she hated just to hold pieces of her family together. That's the real weight behind this reveal. Someone choosing responsibility over comfort and honesty over pain. She also shared what finally helped her heal, speaking out. Naming those relationships wasn't about throwing people under the bus. It was about claiming her truth, giving voice to years of suppressed feelings and tears that weren't captured on camera. At the end of the day, what Ami Brown shares isn't just gossip. It's a human story about love and limits. She forced us to remember that reality TV often simplifies hardship into sound bites. But lived experience is messier. There's emotional exhaustion, heartbreak, moments of betrayal, and still, sometimes love. Her confession reminds fans that you can love someone and also recognize when a relationship caused harm. She isn't closing the door. She isn't seeking revenge. She's simply asking for being heard, and for people to hold space for her own experience. For longtime viewers, this is a wake-up call. The Bush family story wasn't always pretty behind the camera. And for Ami, that truth matters more than keeping everything nice. She's still the loving mom, the resilient partner, and yes, even the person who helped build a reality show out of wilderness. This reveal doesn't erase familiarity, it adds depth. We probably won't agree with every detail, but after all this time, we can listen. Maybe that still matters more than anything else.